Hello everyone and welcome back to another sewing project. Today, I am working with this beautiful floral fabric, and from the moment I see it, I already imagine it becoming a dress. The colors are bright and cheerful, with shades of pink, red, and warm peach scattered across the fabric. It has a fresh and feminine feeling that immediately catches my attention. One thing I enjoy about floral fabrics is that they never seem to go out of style. Every floral print has its own personality. Some feel soft and delicate, while others feel bold and vibrant. This one feels somewhere in between. The flowers are noticeable, but they still have a gentle and welcoming appearance. Whenever I start a new dress project, I like spending a little time simply looking at the fabric. Before any cutting or sewing begins, it is nice to imagine how the finished piece might look. Sometimes my original idea changes along the way, and sometimes it stays exactly as planned. That is one of the things I enjoy about sewing. Every project has its own journey. Dresses are probably one of my favorite things to make. There is something satisfying about watching flat fabric slowly become a garment. At the beginning, it is simply a piece of material spread across the table. Little by little, it starts taking shape, and eventually it becomes something that can be worn and enjoyed. I think floral dresses have a special charm. They can feel elegant, casual, playful, or romantic, depending on the design and the fabric. They are also versatile because they can be worn during different seasons. On warm days, they feel light and comfortable, and they can also be layered with sweaters or jackets when the weather becomes cooler. One reason I continue making dresses is because they are comfortable to wear. I appreciate clothing that looks nice but still feels easy and relaxed throughout the day. A dress can be simple while still looking put together. And that balance is something I always appreciate. As this project continues, I can already start imagining the finished result. It is always exciting to watch separate pieces slowly come together. Every seam adds a little more structure, and every steps bring the project closer to become a complete garment. Floral prints often remind me of spring gardens and sunny afternoons. They bring a sense of brightness and warmth even when I am working indoors. Colorful fabric can make its sewing process feel more cheerful and inspiring. One thing I find interesting about sewing is how different fabrics completely change the mood of a project. The same dress design can look entirely different depending on the fabric choice. A solid color creates one look, while a floral print creates something completely different. That is why fabric selection is such an important part of creative process. Sometimes people ask what inspires me when choosing fabric. The truth is that inspiration can come from many places. It might be a color combination, a pattern, a season, or simply a fabric that catches my eye. With this floral print, I was immediately drawn to the bright flowers and warm tones. Handmade clothing also feels special because every piece receives time and attention. From the first cut to the final stitch, every part of the process is completed with care. This is something rewarding about creating a garment from the very beginning and then seeing it become something wearable. As the dress starts coming together, the floral design becomes even more noticeable. What I enjoy most is seeing how the print flows across the garment. Once the fabric begins to drape naturally, it becomes easier to imagine how it looked like when worn. I think one of the most enjoyable moments in sewing is reaching the stage where everything finally starts looking like a dress. Before that point, there are many individual pieces, then suddenly, everything comes together and the project begins to feel real. This floral print works beautifully for a dress because it has enough details to stand out without feeling overwhelming. The flowers create visual interest, while the overall look remains balanced and easy to wear. Sewing also teaches patience. Many projects require time, attention, and consistency. Not every step is exciting, but every step contributes to the final result. Little by little, progress happens, and eventually, the project is complete. As this dress reaches the finishing stages, I start looking forward to seeing the final outcome. The transformation from the fabric to finished garment is always my favorite part. It is a reminder of how much can be created from a simple piece of fabric. And finally, here are the completed dress. Seeing the finished result is always rewarding. The floral print feels bright and cheerful, and the overall design allows the fabric to be the main feature. The flowers have room to shine, and the dress feels comfortable, feminine, and timeless. Thank you so much for spending time with me during this project. I hope you enjoy watching this floral fabric transform into a dress. I always appreciate sharing these creative moments with you, and I look forward to making more dresses in future projects. See you in the next one!